Welcome back to Fast Market here on the Schwab Network. It's time for cash tags. For that, let's bring in our next guest. That's going to be Andy Swan, co-founder at LikeFolio. Andy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so we're talking Reddit. Shares are just off all-time highs. It hit earlier this week. You know what, Andy? I look at this stock and I'd say this is the Wikipedia of social media, because it's just basically somebody starts a thread, people throw their 2 cents in there. You don't know if it's real, you don't know if it's not, but it seems like advertising dollars are going to them. And after the last couple earnings report where they turned positive on EPS last quarter, it seems like the advertisers are flocking to it.
Yeah, I think advertisers are figuring out what a great value advertising on Reddit is and what great technology they have in place there. And it delivers a higher ROI, I think, than some of the more traditional digital advertising platforms like Facebook, Google, et cetera. Those have kind of squeezed everything they can out of the ROI of those advertisers. And so Reddit's kind of the new frontier, if you could say it that way. And it's growing really fast. If we look at Reddit web visits, they are up. Digital traffic is up 21% year over year, and that's off of a really strong base and a really strong uptrend. Things are a little seasonally flat right now, but you can see that uptrend really began over the last couple of years and seems to be continuing. More importantly, I think, on the ad-related web visits, so this is potential advertisers or advertisers who are looking at Reddit's advertising solutions, that's up 90% year over year. So you can really see it and Snapchat are kind of the new frontier for digital ads. Snapchat had a great report. The market reacted a little bit off, but the initial reaction was very good because Snapchat showed that advertisers are flocking to these platforms. And we think that they're flocking to Reddit even more because the value is even better, because people all the time go to Reddit to actually research something and to find something that they can use or buy, unlike Snapchat, which tends to cater more to advertisers that just want to interrupt someone's experience. So I think Reddit's in a really good position here. We expect a great report. Not so sure on the outlook going forward, but they've got a pretty high bar to clear, Tom, as you mentioned.
Andy, you have to help my co-host Tom embrace the change of new ways to communicate. He sounds like the old man yelling at the cloud. Tom, this is where advertisers are going. This is where people are going, Tom. Look at them. The growth numbers are crazy. And LikeFolio's data is crazy on the upside. Tom, you have to embrace this new way to communicate.
Yeah, I might embrace it a little bit, but Andy, you start looking at valuations. I know they're starting to turn positive as far as profitability at this point, but at some point, is this, you can't fight against, maybe Meta platforms, Google Alphabet, some of these other areas, or is this a low-cost entry point for these advertisers to get into social media? Because I think they're getting charged a lot less by Reddit, maybe, for them to gather these advertisers.
Yeah, I think your second point's really a really good one. When you think about comparing Reddit to Facebook or Google, its current ad volume is an absolute fraction of those major platforms. It's barely on the radar. So they've got plenty of room to grow, especially when you consider it on a per visitor basis, because Reddit is one of the most visited websites in the world. In fact, I think a lot of people have kind of caught on to the trick that when you Google something and you really want to know the answer, just put Reddit at the end of your search, and you're likely to get the best thread with the best, highest voted results, rather than a bunch of SEO optimized pages where you're looking for a recipe and you have to go through 8 scrolls and 15 ads to actually get to the recipe. So I think Reddit has Google figured out. They have SEO figured out. They're using AI to translate all of their pages and really grow internationally. They're also using AI so that advertisers can import their existing Facebook or Google campaigns into Reddit really seamlessly, which I think has been a big breakthrough, because the last thing that marketers want is another workload and another platform to manage. So they're making things easy for users. They're making things easy for advertisers. They're delivering an ROI to their advertisers, and they're delivering growth to investors. So far, so good for Reddit.
Yep, daily active uniques, they call them, up 47% last quarter on that one. So maybe that hyper growth that a lot of people are cheering. But what kind of earnings score do you have on this? Because it's extended as far as a 1-year chart on this. This will be the first full year of earnings after this report.
Yeah, LikeFolio, we got into a long-term position on Reddit about 3 months ago. It's already up 50%, which always gets you a little nervous going into an earnings report because the bar is so high. So I think, we see great growth from Reddit. We see a very, very high bar. We see the potential for a murky outlook. So I just stay away from this one or look to pick up shares on a dip, because we could have a reaction like we saw with Snapchat, which was a phenomenal report, but Wall Street sold the news pretty hard.
Yep, they did on that one. All right, great stuff. Great data as always, Andy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's Andy Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio, breaking it down for us. Kevin, if you look at this, just astronomical move.